All right, so me and Tommy, we're here at Green Top in Richmond, Virginia, and we're gonna see if we can't show you guys how to get some super cheap carp fishing gear. Okay, carp fishing doesn't have to be expensive. We're gonna show you how to do it. Look at this, man, that is flaming. Well, that's not a bad combo. Oh, the Roddy Hunter.
Roddy Hunter.
I've actually owned like 4 of these. All right, let me show you this one right here. Shakespeare Bigwater Alpha. This is the newer version of a rod I've owned for about 3 years now. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's a 7-footer, medium action, takes about 10 to 25 pound line, throws about a 2-3 ounce lead really well. All right, Tom, can I put you in charge of this? Got some Eagle Claw swivels, some number 7s, about $1.19. Okay, now I want to get some good hooks. If you're going to spend money on anything, spend it on good hooks. We got some number 6 here, and I think I actually want a number 8. I'm going to go with a number 8 bait hook. Right there, number 8 bait hook. Here, Tommy, let's go get that up there. Why don't you go ahead and give it to him? Very good job. I think that's all of it. $37.98, not too bad. Okay, in my hand here I've got the $30 Shakespeare Bigwater Alpha combo that I just bought, and I've owned this combo before. This is the Shakespeare Bigwater Alpha combo from 3 years ago, so almost identical rod and reel combo, just a slightly different paint job. Then I also own the Shakespeare Contender, which is almost exactly the same rod and reel combo for $29.99, but this is like the saltwater version that they sell to saltwater fishermen. But I can't tell any difference. So essentially I have 3 Shakespeare Bigwater Alpha combos with just slightly different paint jobs. Each one of them I bought for $29.99. Those of you who like to watch my carp fishing videos will know that I like to use a method lead, a hair rig, and a fake piece of corn to catch carp. Works extremely well. The biggest downside though is the method lead is a piece of specialty carp gear, and it's really hard to find here in the United States. I generally get mine from England, either through specialty carp fishing stores like bigcarptackle.com, or I order them from overseas, or I get them on my trips to the UK. They run about $1 to $4 a piece just for one of these leads, so they're kind of pricey. So that is a big obstacle for a lot of people who want to get into carp fishing but are on a budget. So I'm going to show you how to make your own method lead with just easy stuff you can find here in the hardware stores in the United States. So what I have here are some number 8 bait hooks. I've got some 1 ounce egg sinkers, got some number 7 swivels from Eagle Claw, and I have 1.5 inch drywall anchors. Okay, first things first, take the egg sinker and feed it onto your main line. Then take the drywall anchor and clip the tip off so that you have clear access all the way through the drywall anchor. And then feed it through with the flared out part on the bottom facing the swivel. Then take one of the swivels and do a polymer knot and attach it to the main line. And then take your hook and tie yourself a hair rig. And if you don't know how to tie a hair rig, here's a link to a video where I explain how to do that. But at any rate, pull the swivel up inside the drywall anchor like that, and that's your rig right there. There's your do-it-yourself method lead. Now, you'll often see me use a baiting needle, and those are also another specialty piece of equipment. Here's how you make your own baiting needle. take an eagle claw weighted jig head hook and just simply straighten out the hook. The Eagle Claw brand hooks are low carbon, so they bend pretty easy without breaking. And the jig head makes a nice little handle, so it's easier to grab. And there you go, some really easy baiting needles. For bait, instead of fake corn, which is sometimes hard to find, I use a piece of foam. A little torn off piece of foam looks like a tiny piece of white bread. And when you're using panko and stuff, it's a great artificial lure. So carp love bread, so a little bit of white foam works really well. So just pierce it on the baiting needle, hook it onto the hair rig, slide it onto the hair rig, and you're good to go. Now instead of bait stops, which also are hard to find here in the States, just use a little twig. Any little small, long, thin thing will work as a bait stop. So there you go. There's a do-it-yourself method lead with only items you can find right here in the States. Pretty much anywhere. You can also, instead of doing a hair rig, you can just bait hook a piece of foam. So now I'm going to demonstrate this rig, and I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to take 3 of my fancy bite alarms, my fancy European and carp rods and rigs, and I'm going to compare them against my all-American do-it-yourself low-end set. The bite alarms I'm using are the Delcom TXI bite alarms. They work very well. These are the Daiwa Regal 3500 bite and run reels as well. And on the other end, I'm going to use a fork stick with another stick that keeps my rod from going in the water. I've got a couple homemade bells, and I've got a video where I show you how to make these for a few cents a piece, and I'll put a link in the description. And I'm going to use a bait that you can get out of the grocery store. I got this panko breadcrumbs, a box of strawberry jello, and some sweet corn, and you mix it up and you form what's called a pack bait. It's a bait that you pack around a method lead, whether it's your drywall anchor or the fancy European method lead. But this is a really great bait that I've caught a lot of catfish, a lot of carp on, so it's a real great classic. I'm also going to show you a little something else here. So I'm going to take a little bottle and cut the bottom off and make myself a little cup. I'm going to take some of the corn juice, pour it in there, and then I'm going to dump in a load of Jello powder. I'm going to make a super concentrated strawberry Jello syrup. And I'm going to throw in a few kernels of sweet corn in it to give them a little extra flavor. And that's going to be my hook bait. And I'm going to use this Jello to spike the foam that I'm using on my bait. But anyway, here's the drywall anchor, and you can see you pack a ball of this bait around the anchor, and it grips really well. And then I've hooked a few kernels of the corn right onto the hook. So I'm not even using a hair rig on this one. On this one, I've got the foam on an actual hair rig, and so I'm going to pack the pack bait around the drywall anchor, and then I'm going to dip the foam into this super concentrated Jello flavoring just to give it some real oomph. And I'm going to chuck that bad boy out there. I've got my 3 cheap rods all on the left. I got my 3 expensive rods all on the right, and I'm casting them pretty close to each other at similar depths. And on my expensive rods, I'm using my traditional method lead with the hair rig, core to wide gap hooks, fake corn, the works. And we're going to see what works best. And not only is this going to demonstrate whether or not this do-it-yourself rig and cheap gear will actually work, you can kind of compare it to the more expensive stuff to see how well it works in comparison to more expensive gear. So let's see what happens. Oh, look at that, all the muck and sediment kicking up right down there. There's a carp right down in there. All right, go grab it, Tom. Pick him up, pick him up.
Oh, this is taking a big bend. He's taking a big bend.
All right, come over here, Nathan. You're gonna net him right here.
My net. I can't move anymore.
And lift it up, Nathan. There you go.
I can't believe I caught him.
Good job. Good job. There we go. Isn't that a nice carp?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
This thing looks good.
Yeah.
Shall we put them back in?
Shall we go put them back in the water?
I know how to do
go,
that,
Nathan.
Daddy.
Here,
I
Nathan.
know how to do that.
Okay. See, then we can go.
Oh.
Whee!
I guess
Good job. Whoa.
Nathan pulled me down.
Man down. This is what we call an unhooking mat. It's basically just a giant flat bean bag that's you can get wet and put the carp on. It keeps them from getting all muddy and beaten up. Costs 19, 20 bucks. You have to import it here in the US, so you can only get it at specialty stores. But you don't have to spend that much money, okay? I'm here in a pretty nice grassy area. The ground's reasonably soft. Just get like one of these reusable grocery bags. Like this one's from IKEA. Just put your carp right in there, okay? Keep him from flopping around. Get it nice and wet, okay? So he doesn't get muddy and it doesn't take the slime off him. And if you want to weigh the fish, just hook the bag up and weigh them that way. Don't put the scale in the fish's gills or hook them through the lip. So one of these $1 grocery bags, you know, will do in a pinch if you can't afford to buy an imported unhooking mat. All right, Tommy, go ahead and grab him.
Maybe still on.
Yeah, go start reeling it.
I didn't he is on. He is
I know, Nathan. Don't.
Whoa, we got it. I got it. He doesn't want to break. How about take it? Whoa!
Oh, it's a nice channel catfish.
It's a catfish.
Hey, Nathan, can you net him?
Oh,
got him. You got to lift the net. Lift the net, Nathan. There we go.
It's like over there, Alaska.
Hey, everybody. Come over here. Tommy, sit right here. A nice channel catfish. Not too bad. Good job, everybody. All right, let's get him in the water, shall we? Let's go put him back. Okay. Come on, guys. He's. Oh, yeah. That is a long, lean channel.
Daddy.
Go ahead and that one in the far right. This one right here. Get this one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, no, get the net. Get the net, Nathan.
Oh, yes. What? One net.
Okay, keep your rod tip up. We're going to use the net. We don't want her to bang him up on the rock.
Got you.
Oh, there we go. Here, Nathan, you got him? Well, so far my modern European gear is just tearing it up, but it could be the spot. So I'm gonna switch spots and see if that helps. Look at that, guys. Look what I found. Caught a little bluegill because I wasn't using a hair rig on this one. You just don't have that problem when you're using hair rigs. So if you get a lot of nuisance fish or turtles eating your bait, switch to a hair rig and you'll solve the problems. Using fake corn also works because the bluegill and the turtles don't bite the fake corn that much. So they won't really go at it. So anyway. Pick it up. There you go, buddy. Pick it up, turn the handle, turn the handle.
Oh. I love it. It's pulling me in the water.
Keep your rod up, keep your rod up in the air. There you go. All right, Nathan, come on.
Oh, now it's goldfish.
Okay. See if you can get him in the net, Tom. There you go. Woo. Nope. You want to hold it too? There you go. Good job, Tom. Nice carp.
Yeah. Yesterday I caught an 8-foot carp. Just like this.
That's awesome. All right, let's get him back in the water. There we go. Are you eating the bait?
No.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, here.
This one's mine. This one's mine.
Hold on. Let me. You want to reel him in? Okay, reel him in, buddy. Reel him in. Woo!
We caught one. Nathan, I caught fish. Yeah. I can't see
Okay, keep reeling, Tommy. Reel him. Keep reeling him. Don't let him get away. There we go. Woo!
There we go.
Yeah. There we go. It works right there. Drywall anchor, method lead. All right, let's get him unhooked. Some people think you need fancy gear to catch fish, and some people think that your gear is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is you can catch fish with very minimal gear, but having nice gear does help. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. I hope you had a good time. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to click subscribe to the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel. We put out new videos multiple times a week. Thanks for watching.